Well, hello there. We're back again. It's nice to be here. It's a joy. We're getting close to Christmas, so the stories are going to get Christmassy. Yes, even stellar reality can get Christmassy. Just hold on to your hats. It's a coming. And on that note, you know, we talk about insights, we give you tools. I want to give you an amazing tool that may help you. And that's completely up to you. Because it depends on you accepting that healing is possible. Now, for some people, when they do this, they don't know how to do this exactly because they don't really know, you know, God as I know God. But guess what? I have people not even acquainted with Christ. They don't even want to talk to him or anything. Afterwards, a bit different. Before, not so much. So, all we're going to do is go through this, and then it's up to you. I can't explain why it works. I know it does. Now, for everyone, and there are reasons that we are healed, and there are reasons we go home. There are reasons that we stay as we are, like I am. God has his reasons in everything. Sometimes I walk with a cane, especially outside of this house. Inside the house, I'm okay because God looks after me here. Out there, he asked me to walk with a cane. So far, we do. Maybe one day we won't. But I've used this to have healings from headaches that didn't go away, regardless if I threw something at it or not. I've used this to help others, and I've seen them healed. This is just one opportunity to understand the complete nature of mercy and grace that is the one that died on the cross, Christ, Jesus, Yeshua, as he was on earth. I know some are going, yeah, we. That's all right. Honest. Like I said, I had a complete atheist walk through that situation I'm about to take you through, and guess what? He got his healing. He ain't an atheist anymore, but that was up to him. Now you're intrigued, right? Well, this is very simple. You're going to shut your eyes. You're going to walk down 7 steps in your mind. Just 7 steps, whatever they look like. Concrete, wood, made out of star metal. It does not matter. You just walk down them. And you're just going to be thankful, grateful, full of gratitude, thankful, grateful, full of gratitude, thankful, grateful, full of gratitude. You're going to get to the end. You're going to walk down a hallway. It doesn't matter what the hallway looks like. Up to you. Completely personalize it. Put pictures up, whatever you like. You're going to get to a door. This is the important thing. The door represents that person, Christ. Walk through that door and you go forward. As you walk through the door, the healing that you're wishing for, if it's available, it's God's will. Yeah, there's all those things. But I tell you, a lot of times when you walk through that door, you're just accepting God's healing. That's all you're doing. Christ is the healer, so accept the healing. As you do that, you walk through it and you go, oh, wow, that felt different. And you may find that that thing that you thought was, stuck, wouldn't move. Uh, maybe death door. I've been there a few times. Maybe through that door, through Christ's mercy and grace, maybe you're healed. It's just a visualization. That's all it is. Accepting, getting to the place, walking through, accepting what Christ has for you. That's it. We'll leave it there. Well, the good news is we're getting closer to those, signposts and things that we stick up instead of we say, but we're just going to say it once. If you do wish to connect to me, then you can reach out through Eric at starthealing.me. Fairly easy to remember. reach out to me, send an email. I will send you a link. We will talk. After you book, of course, you have to book. We talk. Find out if I'm part of your healing puzzle. Can't wait to find out. Let's do that. Of course, have to talk about, like this video if you like it. And subscribe if you're finding these somewhat interesting, fun. They have a purpose. The little pieces will show you where and how. But it's all about God, and God wishes to heal us. And in this story, maybe some will find that healing. So let's get going. It's an interesting night. For nobody's not quite understanding why, but it's a ceasefire. Nobody's really talking about why, but this whole 24-hour thing until like the end of this 24-hour cycle, 12 to 12, no fighting, resting. It's a good thing. Lancelot sees her reach for that bag. That's the only thing you brought with you, you know? It's weird. You have a book in there. Yes, I do. You read it a lot. Yes, I do. You ever looked at it? No, it's your personal property. That's not what I do. Although I'm curious. Well, anytime you wish, you could. You can scan the whole thing. Might not make sense though. That's all right. Lancelot said, "You're reaching for those things again. Yes, it's this time of year. Is that why we have a ceasefire every time we come here to this space, to this time? Well, might be. They're being very cryptic. Well, it's a big dilemma for me because this is what I believe. This is my truth. I don't know what they would think. They might think I'm too weak to do what I do, but I will continue to do what I do and do it well. It's the only answer, really. Right, Lancelot? Lancelot's kind of quiet for a bit. What do you mean? Well, we'll talk about that, but let me get this out. She gets out and goes, so those are the shepherds, right? You told me those were shepherds, yes. And that's Mary and Joseph, the mother of the child who came, and you said something about Easter, you were babbling about that he died, but then he rose again for all of us. Yes. Even for me? Lancelot said, oops, wait a minute, that didn't come out right. He wouldn't be after a machine. I don't know, Lancelot. I wouldn't say you're a machine, but that's just my guess. Lancelot went very quiet for a minute. He goes, I gotta plug in for a bit. You set up that stuff. I'll talk to you in a little bit. I just, I need to plug in. And he plugged in and shut down. And Sparrow looked at him and said, yeah, I understand. It's big, isn't it? But she kept talking. Yes, this is that little scene that I pull out for 24 hours, then it disappears, never comes back again, doesn't interfere with what I do. Although, boy, I do have some dilemmas, but I leave them in God's hands, not mine. About 32 minutes later, Lancelot came back online. Okay, well, what'd you do? I shut down any way, every way, and no way that they can read you right now. They're just hearing you babble like you usually do about, uh, about vision and Lord, and they just don't really understand that, so it's just babble to them, technobabble. But I got them listening to it because that's usually what you're doing at this time. Right. But I got questions, Lancelot said. You say you're in a dilemma. Are you going to have a problem out there? No, no problem out there. It's just between me and God. I know this is where I am. I wouldn't have been anywhere else. I could have said no, but then I would have had a shallow grave and a... I know that. Lancelot went very, very quiet. How do you know? Because God said, this God person. No, not person, being. Made all of this, regardless you believe it or not. I do. And yet you go out and kill people. Well, dilemma, you know. I didn't wish to die, so I'm here. So I do my job because I wish to stay alive, but I also do it because it's what I do. No easy answers here. I mean, this being came, part of God, uh, took a manger as a throne, and then showed us how to live, and then died for us so that we can live eternally with him. Lancelot became quiet again. You said that before, but what does that really mean? Oh, Lancelot, let's clear the table. You're not an AI, are you? Another silence. Checking some things, making sure of some things. If I tell you this, it never goes past here. You understand? Yes. I am what they call a ghost. I went out, I fought just like you. I'd had three or four bodies. And then one day, I couldn't enter the body anymore. So they create what they call a soul cell. It's in here. Can't tell you how it's created. Don't know. One thing I don't know. I know a lot of things. And yes, I'm very reliable and I'm not going to mess you up. But no, I'm not a machine. She was quiet for a minute now. She said, I thought so all along. You're too intuitive sometimes. I was wondering if they had living AIs. Well, in a sense, we are. We do this because, well, this is what we can do. We still get to interact and be, and, you know, doesn't change anything between us, I hope. No, nothing at all. But with that, you want to know about this. Yes. Well, I accepted this savior. Oh, before I got into the military, which was a mess, let's just say that I didn't always follow the edicts or the orders of my God, but do believe in him. I do believe he exists. I do believe he's giving me peace. I do believe he's protecting me. Even though that's where the dilemmas come in, considering where I am. So, Lancelot says, what do you know? What do you think you know? And I'll let you know, maybe, if I feel that brave to let you know yes or no. I believe that if I would have turned away from that chopper that day, that I would have been shot in the back of the head. I would have been buried in a shallow grave, and that would have been the end of me. Considering the mess of the way I came into the military, I was a throwaway, a nothing. I had one choice, choose to come here. Well, not this ship, but the ship we were on before, all that stuff happened. But anyway, to come to this place to do this, and this is my life. There's no going back. They say 7 years, 10 years. They send me back to wipe my brain. I end up, a veggie somewhere in a veggie ward. No, not happening to me. I'll die in the stars. Lancelot was silent for a few minutes more. Wow. You know everything. God told you that. Yes, well, he let me know. Yeah. So you talk with him. Not in the way I talk with you, but I know things. He shows me things, and they move through and exist with me. Uh, so a symbiotic relationship in a sense. Well, a relationship. Symbiotic, I would guess so. It's more about me relying on him. I mean, I'm weak without him. With him, I can do the things I need to do. He's allowing me to live. I've told him to ice me whenever he wishes because if I'm off and outside of his will, then I need to go. It never happens. And I don't think it ever will until it's meant to. I'm here until I'm not, but I'm going to give everything I've got every time I fly out there, so don't worry about that. Lancelot said, I'm not. I actually feel safer with you than any other pilot I've ever been with, and I've been with a few. So you've been around a while, have you? Oh, yeah. And you have some questions about that immortality thing that you're living in at the moment. Oh, yeah, the soul cell. I wonder how God would think about that. Well, you're alive, not dead. You got a good heart. Something Lancelot hasn't seen from Sparrow very often. Tears. I might end up wanting you at one day. You might. You haven't been blown out of the air yet. You've had a few wounds. Somehow you healed. I healed pretty fast. That's part of who I am. Don't know exactly what that is, but God keeps me. So I celebrate this 24 hours, then I put it away. And we go back to war. Because that's what it is here. He goes, and your God is okay with that. Oh, my God is with me. I don't know if he likes everything I do, but he is protecting me. He's keeping me alive. I mean, without him, I'd go mad. What do you mean? Well, this mind thing that you have that I can see the hairs on the heads of the things, well, heads, different types of things, bodies, beings that are dying. Intimate detail. I mean, I'm jacked in, right? The ship is me, the me is the ship. Without God, I'd go crazy. And something else. And he goes, okay. I knew there was something else. I've seen you sometimes talking, and I wonder who you're talking to. Oh, that's just my friend. He's on a thing called the wire. It's telepathic, I guess, in nature. Reaches all the way out here, though, and we sit and we talk. And Lancelot said, could we talk? Hmm. She goes, I don't know. Give me a minute. And she just closed her eyes and she said, come find me. Lancelot said, oh, well, oh. And all of a sudden, Lancelot was sitting in a room with kind of cozy furniture. He didn't know what that was. It's animal hide. That's what it is. Who are you? Oh, I'm just her father, confessor, the one that she talks to, tries to figure out the ups, the downs. I hold her when she needs to be held. I'm just here for her. I'm just doing what God asked me to do for her. She's got herself wrapped up in something, but it's where she's supposed to be, according to what I feel. You look interesting, Lancelot. Well, I'm of the, yeah, I'm very close to her. Well, was. One upon a time, I was not from her world, but a world like hers. Ah, another Earth. Well, you know about those things too. Wow. I wonder if well, we keep her together. But this is a sacred time for us. Yeah. This eve before the birth and all the wonder that happens and all the things that do happen so that we are able to return. Lancelot looks at him and goes, well, I haven't seen myself for a while. Can I come and talk to you too? But sometimes it's hard out there. Yes. You think God would accept me as I am? I mean, I'm in a soul cell. You're still alive. Your essence, your soul, and spirit are still present. I call it a soul cell. I call it a cell. But anyway, that's just me. So you are her encourager, her friend. We knew each other when we were on Earth. Similar stories. She went out there. I'm here. Lancelot said, well, how would I accept this, Savior? Very simple. Except that you can't fix yourself. You already know that. Oh, yeah. The nightmares, the terrors. Ugh. Yeah, I can't fix myself. I get that. You want him to reside in your heart space, in a sense, hold your hand, be with you, give you a comforter. Sound pretty good, doesn't it? I'll take all of that, Lancelot said. Uh, you just did the two things you needed to do. You asked God to forgive you, which you did, right? Yes. Oh, yeah, totally. Forgive me. Wow. Huh. Forgiveness? I can have forgiveness for all that. Wow. Yes, you can. And you allow God to come into your heart, right? Yeah. You accepted him. Yes. And you've now confessed him. Yes. How's that feel? Wow. I feel supported, cared for, loved in a way I've never felt loved. Oh, yes, I know. Don't worry, nobody can hear you here. And Raven already knows, don't she? Yes. I figured that little mutt had fallen in love with me. I fell in love with him kind of too, but it's all a weird story, isn't it? Well, never know what God's going to do. True. Lancelot said, let me tell you one more thing. There is redemption, but not, you can't go back to your world. They would wipe you. But there is a place you could go when you wish to retire. And I'm asking you one favor, and you can ask for this if you keep ringing up the stars, and you have. You can ask to take me with you. She looked at Lancelot. This being that looked very much like her, a little bit different, but mostly the same, said, sure, my love. Lancelot said, don't say that out loud. No, don't worry, I don't plan to. But you'll hear it in my heart all the time. So he goes, my world is weird. Yeah, we should get back to where we are before we get caught shutting down everything. It's all right. God turned it all back on. Nobody can hear us here. This is a good place to come and talk about this stuff. When we go back there, we're who we are. They just see those things as icons. And, somebody asks me, I'm going to tell them, but they're going to think that that's just one of my crazy ways of dealing with what I do. He goes, yeah, about that. He goes, well, I'm going back. And she went back. And of course, they sent somebody to look and said, hey, the systems seem to be down here. Oh, they're back up now. Take a look. Oh, yeah. Okay. What happened? I don't know. And truthfully, she could say that because she did not know. She didn't know what Lancelot did to cut it all down. But it was a good talk. And of course, they both sat there and stared at the little nativity scene that would be put away in a few hours and wondered how this would go from here. Who knows? Well, this is the Christian version, I guess, and the Christmas version of Stellar Reality this week. I know, it's not for everyone. That's all right. Just remember, yeah, you let that one into your heart. Confess it with your mouth. You might find the peace you're looking for. Never know. So let's leave it there and let's have a blessing of joy and peace and wonder, interwoven healing that you may require, and interwoven answers, insight, and wisdom that you also may require, and everything else that brush in God's hands wish to paint for you, and it could be a lot. According to your will and wish, according to God's will and wish, this can be. We come before you, Father, Spirit, Son, and wow, did you take us places? You moved the story along, as we say, and now have a whole different understanding and opening of this story. But you're in the center of it, as you always are. We ask you to just be with each one of them that this story is for, and bring them the healing that is required for them so that they can once more be more connected to you. If this is their first time or their 100th time, push back the enemy so that they can have a clear and concise connection to that relationship you're offering. It's the first time, take them down the Roman road, teach them about John 3:16, give them the biblical knowledge to understand this, to really, really know that they are in it. And if it's the 100th time, it'll take them deeper, much deeper. Show them more of who you are, what you are, and who they are in you. And God, just care and concern and love over them as your greatest gift is coming into fruition yet again and again as we celebrate this time of remembrance, of knowing that this is when it happened. It isn't happening again, but it's being remembered again. And keep it in our hearts all year long. Give us grace and mercy, and strength and courage as we go. When we say thankful, grateful, gratitude, thankful, grateful, gratitude, thankful, grateful, gratitude. Standing in awe and honor, respect, allowing all glory to flow to Father, Spirit, Son. This is, and so this is. So, when you rest, rest well. When you wake, wake well. And know that your path is well lit by God. Blessings.